I'm much better now that the ladies are back from space.
What were they up there, 10 minutes?
It's so cringy.
Look at us, we're very wealthy. Don't we look great? Admire us.
Katy Perry jumped out of the aircraft and kissed the ground in a painfully cringe moment that has been roasted online.
6 women just did the same flight that, yeah, he did. Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
She essentially took a roller coaster ride.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
Well, it was very profound. I don't know if you've seen Katy Perry talk about it, but she's basically a guru now.
You look ridiculous. Everybody looks ridiculous. This isn't a moment for feminism. That's a dick rocket that was designed, flown, and paid for by men, and you are simply baggage on that rocket. That's all it is.
Let's not minimize this. Let's celebrate female astronauts.
That's the other thing. There has been female astronauts.
Let's not minimize this.
I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
We're talking about it. We got girl bosses in space. And it's a tremendous accomplishment.
I am so embarrassed to be a woman right now.
I thought it was condescending. It was belittling to women.
Lots of other people in the media were embarrassing themselves during this ordeal. Oprah Winfrey actually wept as she watched the all-female team launch into space.
But if Katy Perry started singing and I was trapped in the vacuum of space, you better believe I'd find a way to end it.
What did they do?
The 11-minute space flight that was touted as some kind of divine feminine gift to humanity.
That was one small step for womankind, one giant leap backwards for mankind.
The crew who flew in space this week on an automated flight by Blue Origin were glam. But you cannot identify as an astronaut.
He spent no more than 4 minutes of intense pleasure up there, came back and talked about how much in love she was with it, how amazing it all was, and she's talking as if she's Neil Armstrong or Buzz Aldrin, you know, landing on the moon, first people planting a flag. She was in space for 4 minutes. She's got longer songs than that.
It's just so ridiculous the way some of the media were covering it, the way they were like self-congratulatory. They've gone next level.
Katy Perry just kissed dusty Texas ground after a 10-minute rocket ride that Jeff Bezos paid for.
Oh, wow. What a valiant explorer.
Katy!
Woo! Flower, and then she kissed the earth. Okay.
She, Lauren Sanchez, Bezos' fiancée, and 4 other women called it a big win for women.
5 women went up into space, right? Jeff Bezos, the man who paid for it all, sent his wife up. Which tells you something about their marriage, doesn't it? I think he was hoping she wouldn't come back.
Prior to going up, you said that you needed to go to space to heal. I know you're only a few minutes removed from this.
I feel super connected to love.
Now we have to witness, who is it, Katy Perry? I didn't even know she was still relevant.
Goodness. I will never be the same.
But the internet isn't buying it. News outlets say the capsule flew itself. So all they really did was pose for a $400,000 selfie. The same people who wear a designer outfit to a grocery store is now strapping into a billionaire rocket for a 10-minute life-changing spin in the sky.
I've had so many people reach out to me and say, because you did it, it makes me think I can do it too.
You know, it's so funny. She said she's heard from women and girls who have said to her, I didn't realize this is something I could do. You know how I know that didn't happen, Megan? Because it's not something they could do, because they're not friends with Jeff Bezos, right? Like,
space used to be about pushing human limits. Today, it's a contest to snap the flashiest selfie from the stratosphere. But hey, don't worry. They're still changing the world, just in between their sponsored Instagram posts.
Taking up space!
their message for women was take up space. You guys are taking up too much space already.
You know you're doing something wrong when even your fellow celebrities are calling you out. The recent all-female Blue Origin spaceflight featuring Katy Perry, Gayle King, and others has faced significant backlash, not just from the public, but from within the entertainment industry itself.
That space mission this morning, that's end time shit. Like, this is beyond parody. For what was the marketing there? And then to try to make it like I'm disgusted, literally.
And you know it's bad when other celebrities come out and mock you. Like that
Piling
almost
on.
celebrity on celebrity violence almost never happens. But we're witnessing it right now.
Olivia Wilde reposted an image of Katy Perry kissing the ground. She was acting like she got back from Apollo 13.
It's so much money to go to space.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who can't even afford eggs. What are they going to do up there that has made it better for us down here?
Amy Schumer humorously joined the conversation, jokingly revealing she was added to the crew last minute, highlighting the performative nature of the mission.
Last second, they added me to space. I'm bringing this. It was in my bag, and I was like on the subway, and I got the text, and they were like, do you want to go to space? So
Katy Perry held a flower. Supposedly she sang.
Katy sang What a Wonderful World.
She did?
Isn't that nice?
Come on.
She sang What a Wonderful World.
Had I been one of the chosen few revolutionary women, I probably would have just jumped out and let the void of space either suck me in and destroy me, or just begun my descent to Earth at terminal velocity and probably caught fire on the way down. You know, either way, there are many options.
Even Martha Stewart couldn't resist a jab. She shared a throwback video of herself experiencing zero gravity, accompanied by a Katy Perry lyric.
Martha Stewart, God bless Martha Stewart. She posted something online because she went up in a flight that achieved zero gravity.
I boarded a Boeing 727 aircraft called G-Force One and experienced what astronauts feel when they reach zero gravity.
It's a complete troll. Everyone's trolling them now.
When other stars, the ones who walk the same red carpets as you, start raising an eyebrow and saying, "Really? That's a big warning sign." If friends who usually clap at everything you do are now rolling their eyes, the whole rocket show missed the mark long before liftoff.
Gayle King, upset, had a few things that she needed to explain to those of us who don't understand what a hero she is.
According to Gayle, don't you dare call it a ride. She called it a journey. And if you even think about using the word ride, get ready. She's got a full lecture locked and loaded just for you.
Please don't call it a ride. That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes up, no one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey, because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about what we did. What it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that.
There's nothing frivolous about what we did. Let's see how it went on board the Blue Origin spacecraft.
Flynn, I got you.
With her daisy?
I got you, Flynn.
Now let's talk about what everyone's thinking, but too scared to say. Was this spaceflight even real? Or was it just a $400,000 Hollywood photo shoot with Wi-Fi? Let's break it down.
This doesn't look like a pleasant landing. The median age of these women, oh, this is gonna get me in trouble, is like 60. And this seems like a tough landing. Seems like some of these ladies that are definitely past their prime might not be able to crawl out of their little folding chairs that they're sitting in too easily from that. But they all did.
First off, the capsule, it looked way too clean, like fresh out of the box clean. Real space capsules re-enter Earth's atmosphere looking burnt and beat up. This one looked like it just left a Tesla showroom.
Like, why exactly does the little dickhead that they're in have absolutely no signs of re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere? You can see there, clean as a whistle, that pod. And this is what a pod looks like when it's returned from space. Right here. Here's the Dragon X capsule. You can see the thing is burnt to hell. Why does it look so clean exactly? Why? I don't know.
And the door, it opens inward, like a bathroom stall. Real space hatches open outward and lock under pressure, but this one had a knob like it came from IKEA. There's even video of someone inside about to open it before Jeff Bezos awkwardly runs over with a random tool to help.
What you're telling me here is they just had a doorknob and they can just swing it open in space? Seems like a very bad safety procedure. That wouldn't have ended well. But then something remarkable happens in this video. The minder runs up and says, "Don't open the door! Don't open the door! Don't do that. Watch. Don't open it. Don't open it." Oh. So then Jeff Bezos goes and gets some fake tool. So they literally open the door. They get told not to open the door. Jeff Bezos gets some like fake prop and then opens it up. What?
And that whole zero gravity moment they hyped? You can film that on a plane. It's called the vomit comet. Happens all the time. You go up, dive down, and boom, weightless for a few seconds. Add dramatic music, crop the windows, and you've got your space moment.
Looks like it would on a windy day. It doesn't look like what happens when you're in actual zero gravity. This is what an astronaut's hair looks like in zero gravity. See this? It's quite different. It definitely doesn't look like zero G's, and that's because it's not, because they're not actually in space. We actually know what happened here.
The flight lasted 10 minutes, and only 3 of those were weightless. Yet Katy Perry landed like she just discovered a new planet. You still buying this?
A very interesting photograph surfaced this past week of a hand, clearly a plastic hand, inside of the Blue Origin space pod. But it is from a test flight before this launch. This is from a test flight before the launch. Here's like a different angle of it. This is from a 2017 test flight from a different angle.
But that's not all. Gail jumped on social media and threw what looked like a full-on tantrum at anyone who dared poke fun at her 10-minute trip. But here's the wild part. She wasn't just defending herself. Nope, she turned it into a speech about how inspiring the whole thing was, especially for women and young girls. Because, you know, nothing says female empowerment like floating in zero gravity for a few minutes and landing back on Earth with a brand new level of ego.
They've gone next level. The montage of them about them.
There, it's dark. It's like death.
And I'm so proud of us. I really am proud of me.
Flowers for me. I brought a daisy because I have so much love for my daughter Daisy, and I have so much love for Mother Earth.
If I can do this, I was telling these guys, I might even now get my ears pierced. I've never gotten my ears pierced because that hurts.
I hope they can see the unity that we modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space.
What even makes someone an astronaut these days? Is it years of hard training, passing tough tests, and risking your life to help science? Or is it just having enough money to buy a ticket, float around for 10 minutes, snap a selfie, and suddenly you're a space explorer? Seriously, these are the questions we should be asking. Because the way people are reacting to these space tourists online, it's honestly funnier than the launch itself.
The reason that Katy Perry is not technically an astronaut right now is because none of the people in this capsule could actually operate anything. It was all being remotely controlled. So it was cool. They took a very, very expensive, very, very cool roller coaster ride.
Lauren Sanchez was also reduced to tears by the experience.
6 women just did the same flight that, he didn't. Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day.
In case you didn't know, Alan Shepard is famous because he was the first American to go to space in 1961. So we don't celebrate the people who do it as on a tourist trip 60 years later. We celebrate the people who were the first to do it. Gail doesn't want us to say that she took a ride, but that is in fact what she did. She took a ride on a remotely piloted craft. Anyone who denies my achievement is sexist.
While real astronauts are out risking their lives, running science experiments, and pushing human limits in space, these celebrities are floating around snapping selfies, throwing up peace signs, and staring into the camera like they're in a 90s slow jam. They're not doing research, they're filming content. If you didn't know better, you'd think they just saved the planet, instead of riding a billionaire's rocket like it was a flying photo booth. And the best part? They come back talking like prophets after spending less time in space than most people spend waiting for coffee.
Earth looked it was so quiet. It was just quiet.
And now we're supposed to celebrate her crossing new barriers for women, meaning boinking a billionaire and getting a free ticket to space for 11 minutes.
It was belittling to women. And
I'm still stuck on the fact that Gayle King actually used the word astronauts. You are there on a vanity project of Jeff Bezos and his fiance. They got in their special Oscar de la Renta designed suits, laid down in a capsule, and came back in 10 minutes, you guys.
They admired the universe, and what they were expecting was for us to admire the fact that they were rich enough and famous enough to have been granted this utterly, utterly vacuous experience from which they learned absolutely nothing.
And let's not forget Lauren Sanchez, who turned her 10-minute space ride into a full-blown empowerment moment, shouting "girl power" while floating in zero gravity like she just made history, not just dated the guy who paid for the trip.
I don't think you can describe it, because, you know what I was saying, it was like quiet, but then also really alive.
Honestly, the level of narcissism in these moments is insane. The earth is shrinking below them, a view most people will never see. And instead of reflecting on something bigger than themselves, they're thinking, wow, I'm changing the world right now. All from a fake space ride. Give me a break. Let's be real. You're only up there because you're Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, not because you earned your spot.
And this right here is the moment that they've been training for. 2 days, becoming a crew, becoming a team.
But the training, it all comes down to literally they learned how to buckle their seatbelts. And I asked my team to poll, like, what did they do during their 2 days? Their tasks, they spent the past 2 days practicing how to get into and out of the New Shepard capsule.
And of course, the internet had a field day with this. Social media, as usual, became the battlefield for these astronauts, with critics going all in. I mean, you've got to give it to the internet. They don't hold back. Jokes about how the only thing orbiting in space was their egos. The mocking was relentless. But the best part? These so-called astronauts, instead of just accepting it, decided to double down, getting defensive and lecturing the public. Because of course, no one's allowed to criticize them unless they've been to space.
We are the Taking Up Space crew. There's 6 of us, all women. It's a historical flight to space because it's the first time that all women have been in space.
The accomplishment of Blue Origin is that Katy Perry went to space. Do you see the difference? Do you understand the difference here? The accomplishment is not that, it is not in the hands of these women. These women did nothing. Truly, they could not have possibly done less for this 11-minute voyage.
It's space tourism. The fact that they're trying to sell it as some revolutionary thing is f***ing hilarious. Yeah, first all-female flight crew. It's not a flight crew. That's like I'm calling myself the flight crew because I went on Soarin' at Epcot at Disney World. Did you know I'm also a paranormal investigator because I've been on the Haunted Mansion at Disney World approximately 6 times?
They're the future of space travel, and women will look back at this and say, we've come a long way? Really? Space is now a rich person's toy. If you've got money or the right boyfriend, you don't need to train, you just float, pose, and post.
Feels like you hand-selected a couple of friends to go do this. I mean, it should have been a lottery system like Willy Wonka where just 7 random people
pull out some guy who's not supposed to be here.
Just a cashier at HEB, someone from MS-13.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Get him in. Someone from Tren de Agua and Lauren Sanchez and Gayle King. And
they want to be called heroes. They want to be called brave explorers. Your baggage, your literal luggage, ladies.
It's not about science anymore. It's about who can look the most deep in a spacesuit. Neil Armstrong walked on the moon for mankind. Katy Perry might do it for Instagram. They call it empowering. But while they float in luxury, the rest of us are just trying to afford eggs.